then it's a really good time. But the minute that I start losing money, instead of walking away, I figure it's not worth it. Like I might as well just blow it all because it's not like I'm ever going to get it back. So it kind of becomes a financial burden too.
Okay.
But,
so there's a few areas in your life where it seems like it's a pretty major influence, you know, your impulsivity, negative thinking. Okay. So we focused on a little bit about finding your strengths. Okay, what are some good things? Well, I can find jobs pretty easily. Okay, I still have this relationship with my parents. It's not exactly what I want it to be at this point, but that doesn't mean that it can't be, right? And then we also have looked a little bit at how when you go and gamble, when you're on a roll, hey, life's great, life is good, this is great. So even that right there, although it might be a negative coping skill, a negative way to deal with it, sometimes you certainly get some pleasure from that and some satisfaction and some reinforcement, like, hey, you know, this made me feel great because I'm $1,000 up now, or $100, $20 up. You know, anytime you're up, it's a good feeling. And so, of course, you know, that's the thing right there. The thing is that in the long run, like you said, it could be a financial burden because how often are you on top?
Oh, I mean, casinos aren't like big and nice because they give out a ton of money. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's where I struggle too, because then I sit there and I think, like, how stupid are you for thinking that you could actually, like, come out ahead enough for it to be worth it by going to a place where they clearly, the house always wins. So, yeah, I don't know. And, you know, the casino's been an issue in my relationships too, because I want to find someone who is mature and financially responsible, but I feel like I can't ask for that from someone else if I can't even be that myself. So
it's hard for you to, it sounds like it's hard for you to get what you want simply because you feel you don't deserve it. I'd like to go back to a statement that you just made about the casino and going, okay, well, I must just be stupid for going back in here, and that's another one of those negative, is that a judgment?
Yeah.
And so see how using even just in the past that non-judgmental stance that it's like, well, I'm not stupid for going to the casino because in the past, hey, I have won and I have felt better because of going to the casino. You know, so just being able to flip it that way and look at it from a different way. Well, of course I go to the casino because it's felt really good in the past and it's worked in the past. Okay, but there's also those times when it doesn't work so well.
Yeah, more often than not, it doesn't work so well.
So more often than not, you say, so when it doesn't work so well, how is that feeling when it doesn't work compared to the feeling that you get when it does work?
It sucks. I feel like it drags me down even further, and it just reinforces all the negative things that I've labeled as like just judgments. I feel like it makes them more valid and more real.
So labeling them as judgments, like you kind of, like you said earlier, objectify that and put it in more concrete terms. Even though you realize that it's just a thought, it's not true, it doesn't have to be, you know. Okay, so you just quit your job. Okay, what are you looking toward now? How are you going to be able to utilize? Do you understand the concept of turning the mind? Could you maybe explain that to me back in your own words?
Yeah, I feel like it's being able to identify the moments when I'm starting to, like you said, veer off course of like staying in the present moment and just identifying my feelings and not placing judgment on them. I think it can be helpful. I think it's going to be very challenging to do so because I feel like there comes a point in time when I get so off track that it's like I would have to like completely just stop and restart in order to get back in a positive mindset. But
which actually, that right there, stopping and starting over, that's turning the mind right there in itself. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that you notice yourself veering off and you can just turn right back into it. Sometimes you do have to stop, take a step back, recalibrate, reevaluate your situation, and kind of go forward from there. So I think you've got a good start on it right there just by making that insight.
Yeah, it definitely makes more sense. I know I've tried to research skills to get ahead, but they don't seem to be as helpful as when I can actually have them applied to my current situation.
So let's look forward a little bit, okay? How do you feel if you stay on your current thought process, your current road of thinking? Where do you think that's going to take you?
With the negative thoughts, I think it's just going to continue to drag me down and cause more bad decisions to be made and more responsibilities that are not taken care of.
Okay. So how do you feel that having the ability, or just even the knowledge that, hey, I have not only the ability but the right to choose my own path and say, hey, I don't want to go that path. Okay. How do you think that being able to turn right or left, or stop and start again, or even do a U-turn, sometimes that's what you have to do as well, is just turn right around.